guys, welcome to this vlog. I started filming this yesterday and I realized that I think today should be, or this vlog should be kind of like a two-parter. Yesterday we worked on pulls and I really wanted to work on changes of direction, changes of bend, and keeping happy kind of between the aids better. We've been working a lot on transitions and I just felt like it would be a good break to do something else. And he was literally psychotic yesterday. There's a cold front coming in, and so I think that's part of like why he was a little bit very much fresh and not focusing. They've also put in a new hot walker that he's seen when we ride, but I usually ride after work most days, and so I think it's been a little bit since he's seen it. And it was windy yesterday and they had finished it, so like the little dividers were in and they were blowing and it was a whole thing. And then he just, after that, everything he had to be scared of. And I think it's all kind of an excuse a little bit, in the sense that I think he is easier for him to brace against me and than it is for him to actually relax and ride between my aids. And it's exactly what happened at the horse show in December. So it was really great to practice that yesterday. We rode for almost an hour. I worked a lot through at the trot and getting him to do a lot of changes of bend, a lot of changes of direction, actually come up under himself with his hind end and stop like totally tuning me out. It's frustrating because I had the last ride that everybody saw where he was perfect, foot perfect. He felt amazing on that last vlog, and we were riding by ourselves though. So today I want to do a do-over of yesterday. I'm going to try to set up trot poles like I had yesterday. I had them set a little long, so I'm going to set them the right distance today. And I'm also going to work on changes of direction. And I'm going to see if I can get a better response out of him today than I did yesterday. Now, I'm not sure there's going to be as many people here today. I don't know if it's going to be as distracting. It's definitely not as windy. But anyways, I think it'll be a good practice for him. So let's go do that. I need to clean his stall and then get him ready. So let's go. Uh-oh. Did you get some algae in there? It's possible. I say it's gross, but you know, it's good water. Is it good? You ready? Oh, you're so cute. To wake up from their body work session. It's not happening anytime soon. You listening though? Alright guys, I'm going to jump in here from the beginning and just start with a voiceover. For some reason on this ride, I'm going to have to double check my pivot. Something was going very strange with the pivot. I don't know if it was windy and so my tripod was rocking back and forth, or if the pivot pod itself was having issues tracking me, but I'm really sorry for the amount of like shake side to side there was as the pivot tracked me. But I tried my best to remove a lot of the clips that were a little bit nauseating to watch, and then tried to use some of my software to stabilize the clips. So I'm sorry for that going forward, that it's a little bit, some of them are a little bit tough to watch, but just know that I picked the best ones and tried to edit them for that. So I started this ride kind of where we left off on the day prior, where I wanted him to be ahead of my leg and I wanted him to be listening, but I didn't fully have everything together yet. So like we were warming up here, and I do think I was asking for a little bit too much like collection through his body and stuff at the very beginning, but I also wanted him to start lifting more through his back and stop stabbing with his back legs. I do feel like he gets a little lazy with his back legs and decides that he doesn't need to bring them all the way through. So that was kind of where we were headed with the beginning of this ride, was getting that, and that's why I was doing a lot of circling and getting a lot of like lift and pushing his inside hind under his body and reminding him that that's a thing that he should do. Okay, so as you guys can see, those trot poles again were set too wide. I don't know where I got this in my head that they had to be 4.5 feet apart, but they clearly are way too big for my horse. And so he tried his dang heart out to get through those, but it just didn't work out. But the 2 times I went through it both ways and he kind of got it, we stopped on that. I didn't do any more pole work after that. But this was towards the end of our ride where I was getting really tired of him really relying on me to keep him going. So I was getting to a point in the ride towards this point that he was basically, if I took my leg off at all, he stopped, which is kind of how Happy is for the most part, most of the time. He does get ahead of my leg in the beginning of rides, and he's a lot softer with, like, I can use a softer leg to keep him going, but I always kind of need my leg there for him to know he needs to keep going. And I just got really fed up with it. So I was like, you need to focus on me, and we need to actually ride. And I feel like if you watch the canter transitions that we do towards this part of the ride, he really starts to just lift into the canter as opposed to like throwing his head and like doing all the things that he normally does. And so it was really, really refreshing to just ride my horse in a forward manner and have him actually like do all the things that we've been working really, really hard to get going. And I think I've always wanted him to just fall into place and it just all be there and everything's soft and perfect and great. But I realize now that I can still be soft but be direct, and I think that I just really need to be direct with him and tell him, no, we're doing it this way, you're going to be ahead of my leg, and the answer is within that frame. So yeah, this was a really good ride. It was exhausting for both of us, mentally, I think mainly. Physically, yes, but mentally, yes, as well, because it was just like a lot for me to be a little bit more direct and strong with my aids, and then for him to like not be able to just be lulled into like the way that he normally goes, which is just to be wholly reliant on everything that I do, as opposed to actually moving and using himself in a way that now he actually really does know how to do. He didn't before, but with Stephanie's training, we've really come a long way from where we used to be. So it was a good ride, and I'll let the outro, Becca, tell you guys the rest about our ride. Alright guys, I'm gonna leave it there. That was a ride, I'll have to say. I set up the trot poles completely wrong, and he was struggling with that, so we just gave up on that. And then I feel like towards the end I just realized it was like, I need to just ride my horse. Like, I think that for so many years of riding Happy, he's been like, has a muscle disease, he's been lame because he's had whatever going on, or I didn't want to push him because he had a bad start under saddle. And I feel like I've been coming to this conclusion, and I was coming to it when I was working with Stephanie, and I actually texted her today about it. And I just think sometimes I'm a little bit too soft with Happy, in the sense of I don't set up very good boundaries, and I'm not very direct with what I want from him. And I think that leads him to being very confused at times and just ignoring my aids. And so today, someone actually made a kind of rude comment while I was riding. I'm not gonna say what it was. The comment was that I needed to consider possibly letting Happy do what he was quote-unquote bred to do, which was be a harness horse, and stop riding him, which I found to be an incredibly rude comment. But it really upset me, and I ended up realizing, you know what, I need to just ride my horse. Like, I'm talking about how behind the leg he can be, and how you have to mean it in order for him to get ahead of your leg and listen to your aids. And as much as the comment upset me, it was regarding kind of that thing, that it just, I was like, you know what, I need to ride my horse. I've been riding since I was 5. I've been riding for a long time. I've ridden a lot of different horses. I know how to ride, and I know how to clearly communicate with my horse what I need. I do feel like a little bit riding with Stephanie, I kind of relied a lot on like letting her tell me what to do. And it left me, I learned a lot, but it also left me with like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't possibly know what I'm doing. So I just rode. I said, no, we're going. You're going to go. I don't care if we have to kick you a million times. Like, you're going to get ahead of my leg. And he became really ahead of my leg. And then in the canter, I do have to support him a lot with the inside rein. But with that support, both directions, I was shocked that we had a canter that actually was pretty balanced and, like, going. And the trotting, like, I just had to pay attention to, like, okay, you're dropping your shoulder, and that's probably because your hind is falling. Let's get your hind back under you. And it was interesting, the shift for me of like, no, we just need to ride. Like, I just need to ride you and be clear with what I want. The difference it made for him. So I do think he's a little exhausted from both of this weekend's, both of the rides being really intense for both of us, because I'm exhausted too. But I think it was a really good revelation that, like, he can handle it if I ask him to do more, and I need to ask him very directly what I want and show him what I want, as opposed to just being like, here's the question. It's very amorphous. Maybe you'll figure the answer out. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. It was definitely a interesting weekend of riding, and I'm glad to put it together and like have it so everyone can see what we're working on and kind of some of the revelations we had this weekend. But oh man, I hope that our rides next week are a lot easier, because oh boy, it was a lot of discovery this weekend that I'm just stressing my body out a little bit. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and comment. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out, and I really would love to hear from you guys, so please leave some comments. Thank you.